this woman, I've had about enough of her. She wants to be like a member of the squad. She thinks of herself like an AOC. She talks like, she's from the hood. Meanwhile, she grew up in a nice family. She didn't talk like this 3 years ago. 3 years ago, she sounded like you and I sound in this conversation. Like, I'm really excited to be going to Congress. I can't wait to get started on my new job. And now she's like, we need to smack him in the head, bitch. Like, what do you, we have videotape. Why are you talking like that? No one believes this bullshit. And now she's graduated to acting like a thug. So congratulations. Your term in the U.S. Congress is going really well, swimmingly.
We in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. So yes.
I hate to be the friend who's too woke right now, but I fear I must. Jasmine Crockett is currently under fire for calling Greg Abbott Hot Wheels because, he's in a wheelchair type. Let me tell you why I don't agree with her joke. And to be honest, it's not even for the reason you might think. Is the joke ableist? Yes. Do I necessarily care that somebody was being ableist to somebody who is literally a bigot and is trying to strip away people's rights? Well, no. I think Jasmine specifically has taken her bleach, butch, blonde, built, whatever moment and is stretching it. And any chance she gets in front of a microphone, she is trying to have those sound bites. And I think at some point, it's really just performative. Dare I say. And I'm not trying to down on this Black woman politician who is probably doing everything she can when she's working to make sure that we have our rights. But I'm always call a spade a spade. And I know performativeness when I see it, sister, I do. Because what are you really doing? Other than egging on the bullshit that's going on with Congress. One thing I'm always going to say is I think that we don't need to be overly nice to these Republicans, right? I'm not sitting here trying to say we need to have respectability politics. I'm not saying that we need to, just be buddy-buddy with them and be like, oh, we're just going to turn the other cheek. We just need to be the bigger people. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you getting on the podium and insulting things that they cannot help about themselves isn't doing anything.
Yes, a lot of people now understand who this lady is. This ghetto Democrat, at a certain point, she is now claiming racism. Crazy. She made the comment and it went viral. It is now backfiring on her. People who support her are even changing their minds. When you take a look at what she posted, I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the plane, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayor, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said was that he was a hot mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I'm even more happy that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames, are mocking those with disability, are now outraged.
Woman Jasmine Crockett may be censured by the U.S. House of Representatives. The calls for a public rebuke come after she made controversial comments over the weekend about Governor Greg Abbott. NBC5's Phil Prazen has more.
Houston area Congressman Randy Weber has filed a motion to censor Dallas Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett over these comments over the weekend.
Thank you so much, Morgan, because we in these hot Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. So
she said that during a speech for the Human Rights Campaign in Los Angeles. While still new to Congress, Crockett has already built a reputation for brash talk and controversial statements, not backing down in an environment of heated rhetoric. She told Lone Star Politics this past weekend Democrats need to get tougher with their messaging.
So when you're sitting up in a debate with Greg Abbott, it's okay to be indignant. Because this is a guy that also on his watch has had women die.
On the Hot Wheels comments, she posted online, quote, "I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains."
You had an accident at 26, and you were jogging, and you had a very severe injury, and yes, you are in a wheelchair. And I've gotten to know you. You're a personal friend of mine. I take it personally when friends of mine are attacked viciously for no reason, and there's no way in hell that this woman and her ex-post is going to convince me she meant anything other than what we all believe it to be. Your reaction?
Well, Sean, is
Yes, this lady thought this was a good idea. We have seen her make comments like take out Elon Musk or take out Ted Cruz. These are things I've seen. And when people pick up the soundbite, start talking about her, that is what she likes best. If you can recall back when she had that moment with Marjorie Taylor Greene and went viral, that is even when I knew her. She took up that moment like to be doing this every time, thinking it's a good idea to do this, not knowing the consequences of this. People might appreciate you for doing wrong things like this, but know there is a time where people will turn their backs on you. Everything will backfire. And I believe this is the time she is facing it.
Your reaction?
well, Sean, is another day and another disaster by the Democrats. The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate, and Americans are not buying it. It's one reason why Texas is going to remain red and why Republicans are going to continue to win elections across the country. The fact, Sean, is that Texas is actually in direct contrast to what she was talking about. Texas has ranked #1 for the most new jobs in America over the past month, #1 for the most new jobs over the past year, and for several years. Texas ranks #1 for the most new economic development projects for 13 years in a row. CEOs who run businesses have ranked Texas the best state for doing business for 20 years in a row. And Texas is in the vanguard as it concerns the future of the United States, such as space exploration, such as artificial intelligence, such as semiconductors, as well as power generation. The bottom line is that Republican states like Texas are leading the way, and with comments like this by Democrats, we will just leave them in the dust in future elections.
Imagine if Van Jones is going off on you, then you need to know that it is done. Van Jones was not happy after that comment. They had a segment on CNN. Van Jones made some comments, and I want you to see that before we go into this crazy review, they actually comment on this.
I don't know her yet. And so here's how I see it. She's new. She's young, and she's trying to find her way. I think that this party is scrambling, trying to seem tough. And I'm seeing this party traffic in a lot of curse words. That's supposed to be like the new cool thing to do. I don't think that's going to be as useful. I even heard Pete Buttigieg with a whole bunch of curse words. I don't know who gave that memo. I don't think that's very useful. I think you have to be very careful when you're talking about people with disabilities. And I don't think she was careful. And I don't know her enough to say she's not being honest. But I'm going to tell you, it sounded bad. And I just want to finish. I think this party is trying to find a way to look tough and to show fight, but this is not the way. I don't think the cursing is going to work. I think I've been on stage and I've gotten a little bit hyped sometimes too. I hope that she will take this as lessons. You talked about learning lessons, that type of stuff. It doesn't sound to me like she's actually taking full responsibility. If that's true, I don't like it, and she can't do that again. She's too important to us to do that again.
What I fear is that no lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making unfair jokes and people are roaring, when you have politicians being vulgar and saying what's the lesson?
Van Jones understands exactly what is going on. I watched Pet the other day. Now they are using F word like F you, F this. This lady is struggling to do that same thing. I don't know if this is a new strategy or they have a script that they are following around or what exactly is going on. Scott here makes a lot of sense. they will not stop because there are people appreciating them every single time. The audience are there, they will clap. And when content creators pick up videos like this, are talking about them, that is what they want. And it's insane. I don't know if this is actually the right way. This lady was not like this before. Suddenly, she is struggling to be something else, but using a wrong strategy to go viral.
A reporter named Serge Kovaleski, who suffered from a condition that restricts joint movement. And he had interviewed Trump many times in the 80s. So he was basically making fun of the guy's disability. And I didn't hear the outrage then. Not that she's right or wrong.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the thing about her, she was looking for a way to say hot mess and hot wheels.
Yeah.
And, you know, you should leave that stuff to the comedians.
I think she should just own it, because Jasmine Crockett is a very talented politician.
Yeah.
Crockett, sorry. Is a very talented communicator, politician. She's effective. People gravitate towards her. This was beneath her, because Marjorie Taylor Greene, we expect that. That's the only way she can get a headline, is by saying crazy stuff, and then everyone looks. Representative Crockett is so much better than this. So I think it would have been really relatable, because the rest of that speech, if you watch it, she's really impassioned. She says, I'm going off script.
Right now, there's this whole question, like, should Democrats fight harder? Should they name call back? Should they shout? I think they should be strategic. I think they should. I don't think that the names help. I think right now there's a Wisconsin Supreme Court race that Elon Musk is pouring millions of dollars into to get the Republican seated. Democrats have a chance to fight there and have a strategic, tangible impact. Or Mike Waltz's seat in Florida, the national security advisor, is up in a special election. You could win a House seat. Do that rather than the name calling and trying to get headlines.
But the reason Donald Trump has all of these people following him is because he did that name calling. It attracts the press in a way.
Yeah, demagogues are going to demagogue.
But I'm sorry. I was just going to say, you know, you have to be so careful with what you say.
You do.
Because your intentions may have been absolutely what you say. But once people hear you say something, it is not about what you said. It's about what they think your intentions are. So everybody's got to be really careful.
How about sometimes we have a headline about Whoopi and Joy, and then when you read the article, they love each other. You know, they love each other.
I should know.
It is crazy. You can see clearly how these people are falling off. They think they can be Trump. You cannot be Trump. Be yourself. You can't fake it. People know who this lady is because now she pick up headline news every single time when she sounds like they all say ridiculous things. It is insane. I've watched her over and over, and it is becoming like she's a nuisance to a lot of people.
Well, the two stars are Gal Gadot.
Or fuel on the fire that there's a potential.
The economy added 16 points.
Your show's on YouTube.
It's a different mechanism. It's the same thing, though.
1980, so I come after us, and that's the way it is.
But George Clooney.
Can you remind us what it is?